Learn how to make pizza at home. This is the only guide you'll ever need for making homemade pizza in the oven. There are just a few secrets and tips for making pizza at home with store-bought dough. This recipe is so simple you can make pizza at home without a pizza stone or a rolling pin. You don't even need to make homemade pizza dough. All you need is 20 minutes, a sheet pan, pre-made store-bought dough, and a desire to eat delicious homemade pizza. There are a few secrets and tips to making pizza at home with store-bought dough. This one is topped with ham, cheese, and fresh basil. With this step-by-step guide to making homemade pizza, you'll learn where to buy fresh pizza dough pre-made, how to store pizza dough so it's ready for pizza night any day of the week, tips for getting pizza dough to rise, techniques for stretching store-bought dough. Once you learn my tips for how to stretch pizza dough for sheet pan pizza, you'll be a pro. How to pre-bake pizza crust before adding toppings. Pizza toppings. The best oven temperature for pizza made at home. Ready for 10+ years worth of secrets and tips for making pizza at home with store-bought dough? First, you have to know how to get pre-made dough to rise. My method will help the ready-made pizza dough double in size at room temperature. Example of store-bought dough from Trader Joe's. The one on the left was frozen, and has been thawed overnight in the fridge. It is rising on the counter. The pre-made dough on the right was not set on the counter to rise. Notice the difference for comparison. Have frozen dough from the grocery store? Check out this tasty pizza with frozen pre-made pizza crust. Shop at Whole Foods? Check out my barbecue chicken recipe on Whole Foods pizza dough. How to get pizza dough to rise. Many people struggle with the very first step of making pizza at home with store-bought dough. That's because stretching store-bought dough is difficult when it's cold. Pizza dough needs at least 30 minutes and up to 3 hours to rise, outside of the fridge. Here's an easy trick to allow the dough plenty of time to rise. Set it near a window or wrap it in a kitchen towel and set it on the counter. If you're short on time, use a kitchen towel straight out of the dryer. A little heat will help. Here's another trick. If you're making pizza at home soon after buying ingredients at the store, let the pre-made dough sit by a sunny car window on the ride home. Growing up, that's what my mom always did. How to shape pizza dough. Shaping rectangle pizza for a sheet pan is very easy once you get the hang of it. Watch the video with the recipe at the bottom of this page for step-by-step instructions. Or follow these step-by-step photo instructions to learn how to stretch pizza dough. Step 1 to 2. Lightly flour a large workspace like a butcher block, cutting board, or clean counter. Press both sides of the fresh dough against the lightly floured surface. Step 3 to 4. First, work the outside of the pizza dough by pinching it with your fingers to make the crust. Next, working against a flat surface, move to the center of the dough and push the dough outward to make a larger base. As you expand the dough, pick up a light dusting of flour, which will help the size of the dough grow. Step 5. Once the dough has spread as far as possible against the cutting board, gently pick up the dough. With your hands under the dough, use your knuckles to stretch the dough in vertical and horizontal motions. Adding a little flour will help the dough expand. Step 6 to 8. Work the dough until it expands enough to cover your sheet pan. Go back and forth between pushing the dough and using your knuckles as needed. Add light dustings of flour as needed to help the dough retain the progress you've made. Don't worry about the dough being a perfect shape. All pizzas are beautiful. At any time, patch holes as they appear by folding over the dough. Step 10. Gently transfer the pizza dough to the baking sheet. Push out the pre-made dough as far as it will go towards the edge of the baking sheet. Shaping round pizza is similar, but you will begin by forming the dough into a perfectly round ball. Follow the instructions above, but instead of pulling the dough in vertical and horizontal motions, you'll want to stretch the dough in a circular motion. It's easy to make a classic round pizza with this ventilated pizza pan. Don't add toppings yet. First, par-bake the pre-made dough. It's super important to pre-bake the pizza crust once before adding pizza toppings. Follow the recipe at the end of this post for details on how to par-bake the pizza dough at 450 degrees in the middle rack of the oven. After the dough bakes, naked, add the toppings and bake the pizza. When making pizza at home, it's crucial to using a really high temperature, once you add the toppings, to get restaurant-quality pizza. After par-baking the pizza dough, add the toppings and finish baking pizza in the oven at 500 degrees until the cheese melts. This final bake will take about 7 to 10 minutes.